Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mary and Joe Show. We are a podcast focused on cannabis and coffee and open conversations. Tonight, we have a lovely TokeNTalk with the fabulous co-hosts, my two co-hosts, Marie Tarot 504.
Good
Welcome.
evening. How's everybody?
And Toke Roo. Welcome, you guys.
Welcome.
Tonight, we don't have a bunch of lists. We have a few ideas of what we're going to be talking about, but we do like doing these open form podcasts where we kind of just throw things in the air and see what sticks, what we want to talk more about in the future. Hear from you guys. I am smoking on some Speakeasy tonight. I just picked up and a little leftover. Let me see what it is. Orange cookie can. So I encourage you guys, if you're listening in the chat, definitely say hi on YouTube. We got some great, lovely people in the chat already tonight. Let me see here. Let me pull it up. Please. What do you got on your mind tonight, guys? What's in your little brains? Let's see here.
I was researching the Greek alphabet and stuff like that.
Ooh.
I find
Please share.
Yeah, a lot of the letters have meanings to them and stuff like that. And I've been researching numerology and how that connects to the meanings.
Please share with that. I'm interested in more on numerology, honestly. I've only dabbled in it educationally.
Well, I was just researching a historical figure, John Dee, and he was from the Renaissance time. Like we were.
Didn't the Queen seek his guidance?
Yeah, we were touching on it in our last episode a little bit, and so you were right that the Renaissance time was full of magic and theory.
Yes.
And John Dee believed that the Holy Trinity or the Trinity had something to do with code created between alphabet and numbers, but the Greek alphabet doesn't have J, or the W, for example, is considered a V twice, or Vera.
Really?
Yeah, and so a lot of texts from the Renaissance period, such as the Shakespeare scriptures and stuff, these things had secret code that it was written in, dealing with the alphabet of the Greeks and also numerology. So I don't know. I'm trying to crack the code, but it's pretty deep.
Medicine.
It's kind of like the Da Vinci seed or the Da Vinci code over again.
Right. When you think that plant medicine and mysticalism with plant medicine or plants in general, I feel like that was really went hand in hand at that time too. It seems like, they used everything.
Medicine still is in even now.
Right. But like you've been touching Toke on the Egyptian relevance, and I feel like there's a big.
I was going to mention that actually. Yeah. The next thing I was going to say is that this comes from something farther back that was known as the Hermetic Principle, and it was something that came about in Egypt and in ancient Greece. There was a guy or an entity named Hermes Trismegistus, and I believe it's the third or the 3 times great in Greek. But he was the messenger of wisdom every time that he reincarnated, supposedly once in ancient Greece, supposedly once in ancient Egypt, and finally in Babylonian time or Sumerian.
Wow.
And every time he came, lived around 300 years and left a message of pristine wisdom. And he was the messenger of magic and communication.
I'm just now bringing, is wisdom. It Kybalion?
Yeah, right? Kybalion is one of a few different literatures left behind to study the principles.
I don't know if you can see this. I just pulled up the 7 ancient principles of
Yeah,
self-mastery.
that what you're looking at is, if I'm not mistaken, it's representing the higher planes, the medium or earth planes, and the lower planes.
Wow.
They depicted many of they use many different ways to depict reality in its varying levels.
I'm seeing, is this related to astrology as well or not? 'Cause
Yeah,
I can't
I would
tell.
definitely say yes.
It's directly
Yes.
correlated.
Because I'm trying to break this down. What have we got here? This is
Well,
definitely.
isn't that they believed in the 4 principles, like you could bring it all the way back down to the 4 principles,
I think
and
it was
that's
7.
Here, I'll
earth,
look that
air,
up as well.
fire,
Well, yeah.
and water,
Yeah,
and then that everything goes off of the 4 elements.
Can you
I'm
look
sorry,
up
not
the
Right.
John
principles.
D sigil for me?
Sure, I will. Let's go.
The John D sigil incorporates all 4 elements and many of other sacred shapes and stuff like that, and he believed that that was how to invoke angels and demons properly.
Is this right? The John D schedule?
Sigil or
Sigil.
John D symbol. Sigil
okay.
is like a magical symbol.
Okay. Interesting. Let me pull this up. Wow, I have seen this before and didn't even know I was seeing.
Yeah, it's got
Interesting.
the pentagram in the center of
Right.
it, but it
Let me
goes
pull it up.
lot deeper.
Yes, please explain it. Hold on one second.
And
There we go.
A lot of these sacred shapes and things inside of this right here. If you see the crescent,
The first
shape
one?
and all this,
Let's look.
actually go down to the one that's a little more complex. The third one down.
Okay. Third one down. This one?
Yeah, that one right there is his one of his major sigils. Go back to the first one. Actually, you had
Okay. Hold on. This first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
In other words, when
go
Da
ahead.
Vinci created the divine picture of man or whatever.
Right. I'm pulling it up. Yes.
Well, supposedly that symbol there contains all of like universal code or something, being that like it fits inside the human body perfectly. And if you look at it, the crescent shape is a solar body or like a planet next to another planet. It has something to do with math. You see that one with the red dots or the red lines to it?
Wow. Yes. It's Da Vinci Code. Wait, what was it called again?
It's Da Vinci Code, and it's just Hermetic code. It's like how to draw a symbol to explain how the universe works.
Let's see. I'm gonna try to find
Can
an
you go
image
back
for
one
the
more time?
viewers. Sure.
Because I believe I saw the other one.
Here, let's stop doing this
I just
one,
wanted to
and then let's.
that one.
Yes, please. Here, I'm pulling it back
one
up.
fits in the Da Vinci
Let's see here.
divine man, and it fits with planetary alignments and stuff. It's interesting.
Is it this one?
You see the one that has the yellow center?
This one?
It's
Next
like
to it?
It's no. Go down, third row.
This one?
That one there.
Yes.
Click it. That's the one I
Okay.
was talking about. It's got the pentagram in it, and then it has the double.
Let me get it bigger for you. 1 second.
And they had
There you go.
Yeah,
Should show it pretty big.
Yeah, that's super wild. It's very deep, and I believe all the letters have meanings to them and numbers.
Let's see if it will explain it. Oh, it just lets you know if you want to buy the picture. How rude.
Yeah.
We should look and
what is it called? What does it have a name to it?
Called the magic symbol of Amith. I'm saying that wrong. I'll look it up though. We'll do some more research on this one for sure in the future, but let me pull it up at least.
It kind of looks like it has different layers of protection to it, or different layers of like
I don't think I've ever even seen this drawn on a floor other than
Well,
the
you know how
actual
people do
pentagram.
the pentagram with the circle a lot of the time
Right.
for
Is that
magic? Well, I believe that say you had a security system at your house, this one
right?
is like extremely. It's far more intricate, but it's the same principles.
Is this an idea of like summoning? Is this considered summoning, or is this considered protection?
It's
Like as if
I
you were to add elements of different things.
I think it's a protection.
I think
It's like
it's
a summoning
protection.
protection spell.
Ah,
It's like a mixture. It's to protect you from what you're summoning, or to keep
and
it
it's
like harnessed,
numerology. I've
or keep it
never
under
seen this
attack.
before.
It's to keep
So
it contained.
interesting. So it's the seal of, I don't know how we pronounce that. It's not amethyst, but it looks like that. Ameth.
Prometheus.
So
Probably. Could
I
be Greek.
watch a lot of Ghost or Ghost Adventures? Yes, Ghost Adventures with Zach and the rest of the crew. And I always love that they show a lot of the old symbolisms, even in like there are some episodes I've seen that were done in Italy on islands that had been, I have to find the episode, but the islands that were, people in Italy were basically sent over to this small island because there was a plague. And they were just sent there to die or to, I'm not sure what the freaking episode or what the, I'll have to look it up for a second here. But basically, this repeating situation of isolation and the symbolisms that were on those left, like it's kind of like spell work in a sense for even the people that were dying there, like their last resorts of prayer they could
Yeah.
do, you know? It's so insane. And then when they did the actual investigation on this particular situation, they could hear prayers through the EVP, which is pretty
Okay, but
insane.
can you not say? I don't know. To me, there
What?
were many times when I would go into the St. Louis Cathedral on Jackson Square, and like I definitely could hear, like even when it was quiet,
Outside, it
I could
feels
hear.
weird.
No, I
You
could
know
hear
where I
prayer.
get creeped out? Let me be really honest.
Well, I believe
Where?
that
The
there's.
city
I never
park.
got creeped out.
Can I
City
mention
park
something?
creep meets the fuck
Yeah,
out to
yeah.
this
City Park is a
day.
very strange
There's
place.
not an area there that I don't feel like I'm not supposed to be here.
Really?
Really.
I
It's
have
the swamp.
always felt very.
I do not like City Park. I never even enjoyed. I felt always uncomfortable,
Well,
even in the
back
lights,
back
and
at
as
the
a child.
cathedral.
Right.
Did you
Hey, let's pull it
notice?
up. Let's pull this up. New Orleans
Yeah, the
Cathedral.
shadow at the cathedral is what I want to mention. Though it's kind of like they have in DC, how they have the obelisk standing
Should I look
upright.
up shadow?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
actually thinking that because the obelisk.
Oh my God, that's creepy.
Yeah, it's extremely
Holy
strange.
shit, dude, I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
What?
Here, I'm gonna bring it up. It's too much.
I believe that the people that constructed the building
so
know about
sick.
these principles, probably,
Yeah,
or
they do.
maybe the architecture.
What the
The
fuck,
architect.
man?
Well,
Wait,
one of the
Damn.
Hermetic
you never
principles is
saw
as
that?
I never
above
knew that. I never knew about
so
this.
below.
This is freaking me out.
And I
Sorry.
believe that they had that principle in the front. Jesus Christ was
Wow.
like depicted, and
That's insane.
ISH is the
ISA.
Greek
Okay.
spelling of Jesus because
Because they couldn't use J.
yeah,
I was
because
wondering about that.
J, and it's hidden all throughout the scriptures of the Renaissance time in like numerical magic. It's very interesting.
Wow.
He was very important. I believe it had something to do with a lot of symbolism. And
Here, let's look up the history of it. Oh, the ghost of St. Louis Cathedral. I mean, I actually don't think I've been
I
in there
could be
more than
wrong, but
one
it's the
time.
same thing in DC.
Really?
Yeah.
Where
not-
did
I
y'all
don't-
live?
I
For the
was living
viewers,
here. I
It's
was living here. So when
it's like a
and we weren't
30-foot.
Catholic. So my mom was really not like about it. We were so Christian indoctrinated. We were like, no, we don't need to go in that church. I don't know how else to say that, but no.
Well,
I think I went. Yeah.
Did you notice the two crescent shapes at the bottom of that staff sigil that we were looking at?
Yes.
Well, if you put them sideways, it makes like a Greek X, if I'm not mistaken, and it has something to do with like the cross, the Holy Cross.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
and
bringing this up. You might
the
enjoy
rosy
this. This has
cross.
got a little bit more of a drastic. Hold on, let me pull this up. You can explain. Because this is interesting to me. I've never been indoctrinated by this.
John D.
Yes, I
Trinity?
have it ready. Hold on,
John D. Trinity.
Okay,
It's
let me
a
look it up.
picture that looks like the Eye of Providence, and it represents the astrological bodies around us. And it's very odd at the back of the dollar bill, or most descriptions have the same thing: light radiating from three sides of a triangle with an eye in the
Right.
middle, which is our solitary arrangement. It's
I
a
don't know if
strange
this
thing.
is right. It says Trinity. I'm gonna pull it up. Hold on a second here. I don't know why it's not giving me a good research result here. You
It's
know
just
how
a
that
triangle.
is.
It's
Right,
or
I got
delta
that.
in the fourth letter Greek alphabet.
Your screen. Is this it? I don't feel like this is. I mean, yeah, it's referencing the
John D. Triangle, maybe,
Oh, okay.
because he published something and he asked for God's forgiveness because
There you go.
Yeah, that
There you go.
fourth one. He asked for the
Yes.
Lord's forgiveness because he was bringing meaning to the Trinity, and he was publishing it, and he felt
Wow.
that
And the Trinity is actually
it might be misinterpreted.
Catholicism knows today as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Right.
And I wanted to mention as well, he's pretty much saying that the human body has divinity to it, and we're like in hand with the coding of the universe. That triangle there, I would click it.
Which one? The fourth one? This one?
Yeah, that one there.
Yes.
And there was a guy at the same period of time that was burned over this because he was bringing up the same principles through his own study.
I'm bringing it up bigger. Okay, I think this is the one. So he's burned for even questioning. This is what we were talking about from the beginning. It's so sad.
It's witchcraft, supposedly, or it's just philosophy of reality, or philosophy is the study of reality. He's simply
in 1789. Wow. Is that right? 16th century, yeah. Can you see this? I hope it's showing. It looks like it is.
Yeah. There's actually a statue or no, there's
this craziness.
There's a depiction of what's his name? William Shakespeare with three angels around him, and they're pointing at an M with a pin. And if you do some research, it the number 1740 is inside of the lettering.
Is it pointing to the moon?
Not in this exact one, but that's a good question.
Because it's something just came up. I'm looking for it. Yeah.
Is that he supposedly could have been a guy named D. Vere that was hand in hand with the Queen Elizabeth. Could have been John D. I think that pretty much Shakespeare was written by somebody that was a master of code.
I found it. Okay, I see what you're talking about. Hold on. And I don't see the pictures, but I see exactly.
So the thing is exactly where in 1740 there was a statue placed at a specific location that you can find inside the code that is where D. Vere lays, where he's buried. And there's a statue over that.
Interesting.
It's extremely
conscience
how accurate these things are and how prevalent these same numbers continue to appear.
Right.
If you use a triangle or a right angle or 90-degree measurement, you can start to find hidden words and like, for example, God's forgiveness and things like that can be found in a cross shape with JD.
Look at this shit. Like, look what just happened on the screen. Look at this shit. They won't let us read it. Please don't.
Yeah, you know something else? I was trying to step farther into the meanings of some of the alphabet and some of the numerical value or pretty much a certain type of magic and into it, and you can't even find it on the internet. You have to truly read books and study to even get the gist.
They're literally trying to. Did you see what that was? It said you needed to pay for the information when this
Yeah.
is Wikipedia. You've gone fucking mad,
study,
Wikipedia.
if
Sorry.
we continue to study, some of the most prominent figures in history and some of the
Right.
most prominent events in history fall within a perfect order of number and letter.
Right. No, this is
predicted, and vice versa. It's extremely.
I mean,
if you see numbers on like a plane ticket or whatever, there might be something farther to it.
right.
All numbers have meanings. All letters have meanings. Your whole name is a certain amount of numbers.
100%. Yep.
And they're all different letters that all mean something. So, I mean, we don't have to know these things, but if we do, it can give us a better understanding of why we might be here.
Right. Hold on, I'm gonna pull back up this because
it's kind of
I believe the potential's endless, but it's
what was the most rivaling thing that you found at this point? Let me pull this up. Maybe which one should I be? Oh, it doesn't show you when I go through it. Never fucking mind.
You know, you know how the
sorry
thing we mentioned in one of our sessions,
one of our previous episodes.
Yeah, so you see Doctor Strange, he's drawing these symbols and stepping through time and stuff. These symbols are built out of the same principles that were practiced in that time period, the Renaissance period. And like I said, we're in a reverse Renaissance.
100%. So let me pull that up. We had found something on it.
I feel like we're trying to re-embody what we already knew. It's like we're reminding ourselves, but we're doing it in the opposite way. Instead of researching all the time,
we're in the next dimension of it, maybe.
Yeah, like exactly it. That's a better way to put it. We're just in a like furthered version of it. It's like a reset.
But what if it's not even?
Okay, so I started to watch
the same shit that humanity finds over and over again. If we were wiped, or there was like a great wipe before Sumerian time, 10,000 plus years ago, and how the temple or the pyramids could be 13,000 plus years old, and how there are the Baalbek stones and all these megalithic structures around the world that are created in perfect order with materials that we don't understand, or tools that we don't understand.
Right.
I believe that humanity might reach a climax with this type of information every so often, and it's almost like we get knocked unconscious and it's like an awakening. But if that's not the case, then it's just interesting that people bring that up, and there's so much stuff on Earth that can lead to that being the possibility.
I'm just putting this in the private chat, and I also put it in the public. This is what I just pulled up. The last time we Googled it together when we were together, the Renaissance in Reverse 2016 Hollywood Writers Report. Now, I don't know how well this is to reference, but I do feel like I have said it already in previous episodes, and we've talked about the drip feed as a concept of just really a lot of people giving us tiny little doses, preparing us. So when you think of Hollywood having a step ahead, like, I hate to say this, but when I was watching The Matrix the other night, I couldn't get past the very beginning because it was quite eye-opening that like they really did put it as such a mirroring metaphor of when they were cocooned, when he finally came out of his understanding and he was cocooned in this jelly warm little, incubator.
Yeah,
but he was pulling the cords out before he could even get them removed. Remember, the little monster comes over and undoes it, and that's terrifying. The whole thing is terrifying, and obviously it's Hollywood, but it's painting a picture of like what knowledge, how that really forms. Like you come into an uncomfortable position, you feel like, okay, there's something outside of this. That's really what it. And then there's the part where it's just such an interesting part. The interesting part about the bug in the belly button, where it's like, what are we fed? What a good fucking analogy. Like, are we bugged and fed with lots of, or are we being the concept of, are we being watched? And this was before the time when it was everywhere. They had the flip phone, the Motorola, you had to pull the little antenna up in this movie. And I was like, wow, this is intense. And then the big back screen monitor in that movie too, which was 2007, so monitors were still very expensive back then. Just
Right.
to see the slight drip, as you said. And then what does Morpheus do? He says, they deliver him, they clean him up, they get his muscles, he's atrophying or whatever.
Wait, so in
Theo,
society, how it's a big joke to say, "Oh, I got that drip."
no,
Or
it isn't now. It's almost like if
when
you're
like superiorly capable, or like you have some type of finesse or underlying understanding to something, you have drip.
Let's talk about
maybe
this.
it's you're remembering and you're trying to like passively mention that's drip feeding itself, that we use the word drip.
But let's talk about this part of the movie, just because it's a really good fucking analogy. Remember when the guy and the girl come to his house and they knock on the door and they say, "I need some more." What do you think he was getting? He was getting drugs, but those drugs were what? It's the blue pill. He didn't even know what he was selling. He was selling something that was literally keeping people in the bubble, in the bubble, for real. The little bubble they made a metaphor.
That's weird.
Right. They're fucking clever. And then when he meets Morpheus, this is as far as I could get because I had to turn it off. It was way too much fucking. I was like, wow. When they walks in the room and he's like, "I've been waiting to meet you," and he's like, "I've been waiting to meet you, Morpheus." All that shit, okay? They sit down and he opens up a little vial case, of like pill container, and he says, "Would you like this one? Or is it time for you to know the truth?" So I think people get really comfortable in that warm goop, in that bubble. And until you really find yourself pulling at those old plugged in tethering, as some people say in spiritual, in the occult, you cut the cord.
Right.
For real. I mean, it's not far off. Maybe it's just a movie, but that's another part of like, I think Hollywood has been looking at life a lot more in detail for a hot minute. Like, really, they're the ones making the story and telling people how to like encourage. Yes, there's got to be other people at work,
they
but
mention a cabal throughout all of time
that
that had a finer understanding and finesse to reality, or in some
should
way
I bring something up in
power
specifics?
Influence. I believe that Hollywood, maybe if not all of them, it might be a few of some of the most powerful people have a fine order, a fine principle that they follow. Many of principles, I believe that numbers and letters are playing a huge part in the major events in these time periods inside of these organizations.
Astrology has a lot to do with the numerology in that aspect. It also is just pattern systems, but let's put real in context. What is it that we know about society in its oldest history is that, like you said, there is old proof that there was ritual use or a call. You could say, I'd say it's just early spirituality.
We should do a megalithic structure episode.
We're doing it. Megalithic.
And just
structure.
So this is something that is really boggling my mind as we sit here and Rachel, we went over some topics before Tim woke up, and then topics he was going into that he's really into, and he's talking about these numbers and that how your name can basically all these numbers can tell you basically the end, and your death date is written into your genetic coding and all of that.
Oh, that's hard to look at. Yes.
Potentially, yes.
Potentially, and that's what you're going over. So, with all that being said, one of the things that we were talking about tonight is, we were just going back and forth, some of the people that we were going to feature, some episodes that you were wanting to bring up and talk about, with that they were showing the interviews and all that.
Right.
So these people that are coming on saying they're addicted to, like, I don't know, fentanyl, because fentanyl is such a huge thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
People are actually addicted to it, looking for this fentanyl. How can their death date be written in that coding if that ultimately takes them? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around how that could all come back to numbers.
It takes years of study, if you ask me, to fully understand. But so I've been studying for a long time, and I'm starting to dive into a deeper part of it. Like for example, the letter N or phi is the 16th letter in the Greek alphabet. It also has a numeric value of 80. The uppercase phi symbol represents a plaintiff in legal shorthand. So legal shorthand, if the letter pi or N, the numeric value of 80 or 16 deal with something that is dealing with shorthand, court shorthands. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just interesting. It gets deeper than that. I'm actually looking at it right now. I'm gonna mention something else too.
Please.
Like, give me a letter for. Let's just use alpha.
Use L. Let's go L. Because let's just do L.
L. Oh
I got
my gosh.
personal reasons.
Okay.
What'd you get?
And
I'm just showing on the screen to everyone. If you're watching the podcast, I'm just showcasing a particular YouTuber you must indulge in because he is the most amazing, just giving these people voices, all different types of stories, cultures, and some of them we will feature in the future and do like reaction videos as a podcast team because some of them deserve it. They're just incredible, some of these stories. But go on, please.
Yeah, right now, you guys go ahead and take over for just a moment. I'm gonna look at L. And,
perfect.
I can give you a meaning to it, a number to it, and all subject matter that'll deal with
right. Let me see if I can find something to just play.
Yeah, wasn't there one of them that you had wanted to showcase?
Yeah. Let me find the one. I think
we always want to give back to YouTube.
Without
there's some good people on
it's
here.
Pretty much
her story's incredible.
Without a line across it. It's lambda. So I'm gonna research lambda. Just one moment.
No problem. Now this is a little deeper content, so trigger warning for people who are judgmental. I mean, you guys need to go somewhere else if you're judgmental, but some of the people that let's take a moment and just look at the way that this YouTuber.
Some of these letters deal with pain and death,
right?
And kinds of random stuff, and like if the day breaks down, or you can do some numerology on that.
Right.
You might find some like chilling, like bone chilling coincidences.
See, I feel that way hardcore about astrology when I read someone's chart. I literally have empathy that didn't exist until I saw it was together, what was making that person who they are. And there's no coincidence in a person's chart. It's fact. For me, I've always been like able to really help people in maybe 2 minutes of their life, just honestly telling them why they're so hard on themselves and really pointing it out. I can read charts pretty well.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I feel like
it's the same thing almost.
Planetary wise, things affect us. Let me just explain from my own. This is a serious moment. Let's stop this. Planetary wise, when it comes to astrology, I started studying in 2000 and probably 11. Yes. Go on.
So lambda is the 11th letter in the Greek alphabet.
Interesting.
Hold on. It's numeric.
There's so many things good about 11.
The lowercase, I know. I can get into that too.
Please do.
For example, the number 11 is like two pillars or a doorway and different things like that. And it's also, I believe, an angelic number, which has a higher importance because it's a double. The number 1 refers to leadership and creative abilities, like inventors and things like that usually have something called a life path number, which is 1, and it makes them great leaders and stuff. It's like it's almost like a rocket ship. It's like a direct force. It's a line or a ray, kind of like light energy.
The next prime is 13. I'm so bad at my prime numbers. No good.
Continue with this. The
Please.
Lamada Literary Foundation and Lamada Legal. In mathematics science, the lowercase Lamada symbol represents wavelength, longitude, radioactive decay constant, heat and vaporization, unit of volume, length constant, and Ang value. I'm not sure what that is. the length constant of electric potential, linear charge density, ionic conduction,
Oh,
linear
wow.
charge density, failure rate of devices and systems. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like if you happen to be an electrician or you're like a computer scientist and you're like L is prominent in your life, or Lamonda, or maybe even the number 11
Right.
or 30, the numerical value of the 11th letter in the Greek alphabet.
Let's see. This woman right here is probably the most interesting. I'm going to blow this up. This is intense. I think I'm going to bring it.
If I'm not mistaken, my name is it breaks down to Omicron and Phi. And
Wow.
yeah, or the 15th. Or for example, Omicron has a value of 70, which 7 is extremely prominent in my life. It's the day I was born. My mother was born on the 21st, which is a 777. 7 just plays a huge value in my life, and it represents the 15th star in the constellation. So that's a good question.
Interesting. Do you ever see, let me ask you a personal question for some of the listeners I know that are listening. They're very into number patterns, let's put it, or synchronicity. Do you see 17 a lot, by the way, or do you see 7 in like an all-day situation and you feel like you're being blessed when you see it? Do you take it in comfort? Do you take it as a warning when you see those numbers?
Who, me?
Yes.
Most of my life I was familiar with this type of information, but I thought to myself that it was just some type of stupid, some type of
superstition. Yeah.
And so I think it's like having higher. It might. I'm not sure if people understand this, or they might have different theories. But I believe in like vibration and energy and denser and less dense energies. And
right.
so whenever I believe in numerology and I practice numerology, persistence, appreciation, understanding, it's certain thought processes that release different wavelengths of energy throughout my mind, and therefore my cells and my body and the chemicals and even the people around me, if they're especially within a 3-foot radius, the heart lets off an electromagnetic field, and I believe it's about 12 megahertz of energy, which means megahertz or it might not be megahertz. I think it's what's the word? What's another word for energy?
Frequency,
Megahertz, wattage, something else.
Volts.
Let's just go with megahertz it's hertz. Actually, it's just hertz. So megahertz is just a variation of measuring it. So
here you go.
Hertz actually, that's the guy that invented it, if I'm not mistaken, but it's just a measurement of vibration, and all things vibrate. So if we have 12 hertz coming radiating from our heart, you might not feel it consciously, but there is energy that you control beyond your body, and throughout the day you control potentially other people's energy in their body based off of the things you say. We can get into the numbers and letters of the things you say, but simply the thoughts that are let out, because your mind and your brain is electromagnetic, your heart is electromagnetic, and these two things think and feel, and so the emotions you have. So the last thing I'm going to say is I had poor emotions on the subject, so I feel like it wasn't charged or enhanced. But nowadays I'm starting to believe it and understand it deeper and more, and I'm having appreciation for it. And so when I see these numbers, sometimes it gives me prominent thoughts and goosebumps, and I think that's the magic in it, or the blessing is that I simply can remind myself that I can think of a higher, I can think in a higher way, I can feel better simply by allowing myself to. At least that's a start.
Right.
And I get goosebumps and I feel ecstatic, and it can be seen as insanity, but I could have swore there's gurus around the world that draw goosebumps and begin to cry just simply sitting in peace because they're in a state of bliss. And I think that they can reach even higher levels than I can by far.
Oops.
Of just appreciation and acceptance and understanding. I got a long way to go, and I'm not saying by any way I'm a master, but whenever I use these types of thought patterns and principles, I have a better day every time.
Right.
Every single time. Or if I feel like I can't handle something or something's overwhelming, if I readjust my thoughts, I tend to have a better chance. Like you had $1 million boxes you had to move, and that was how you got paid. So when you show up to work, if you're thinking I have $1 million boxes, it's going to be far more tough to handle than if you just think to yourself that you're a happy person that can handle the situation or whatever you are. Not necessarily happy, but that the situation's already handled. It's being brought about. Just if it's not already handled, it will be handled. Things
it's
are
not happening
okay.
to you. It's happening for
you.
Yeah.
Things are okay, and things are gonna work out. It's just the effort, the persistence. And
I actually encourage bad moments. I always think that, not like that.
It's
not
okay
like that,
to be
people.
upset and feel bad, though. We all are human, and we all are receptive to
I always
everything.
know when something's off track. It is like they say.
But we have the power to adjust energy.
When one door closes, a window opens. I don't know if you guys have heard that.
Did you see that
yeah,
meme?
Exactly.
Did you see that meme? If you shut one door and another one opens, your house is right. Run, bitch.
Seriously.
I'm like, oh shit, that happens all the time.
Actually, Miss Marie, this is something probably significant to you now that I think about it, and it was a very significant part of my life too, and it was just a random event. And maybe it was the way that I thought about it that made it important, but so simply, I had a cross with a few diamonds in it, and it was made out of sterling silver, and it was just one of my prized possessions. I had it forever, and Miss Marie here got it for me when I was young. Because I just had to have something shiny. Right. And she was like, "You sure you like this one?" I was like, "Yes." It just came into my life. It was
God.
But the thing
just came into his life. I just said the word.
Right.
But then I would say maybe even 15 years later, it was maybe possibly 17 or dealing with the number that we were just speaking of. That's kind of strange. Maybe I should look into that.
Yeah, but my friend sees 17 frequently. Yes,
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of people get it tattooed on their face, and guess what? They're in Hollywood.
Oh, geez.
Isn't that strange?
Very.
Or not just Hollywood, but it's like prominent in Hollywood. So I lost the cross, long story short, and it was a chain. It was a silver chain, and it just somehow fell off my neck, and I lost the cross, but not the chain. But instead of being, at first, I was upset. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, no. And I walked and searched and up and down all the places I went. And I was very upset. And I had to break the news to Shell possibly. And it was just upsetting. And,
geez.
And then I thought to myself, maybe there's somebody in a tough time or situation in their life. And they might walk upon this. And it might be better for them to find it than for me to hold it. I brought it to a different place in my mind, and I was able to come to some sort of acceptance and appreciation.
Right.
And
you saw it as
all right. Well, don't worry, little brother. I'm not worried about your chain.
Yeah, see how it works out in the long run. Sometimes the thoughts that cross our mind aren't even the truth. It's almost like sort of
I'm not gonna lie.
Wool over the eye.
I'm not gonna lie, when you was like, this shit might have affected you, I was like, oh God, what is he talking about that he didn't tell me before?
Right. No.
I was like, oh geez, what kind of life fit are we about to open up about?
I had a really
and I was queuing up the silver lining sky picture I just took today.
Oh wow, beautiful.
Look at that bitch.
Beautiful.
I've never seen a silver lining, but I did today.
Let me say this because it's part of the subject.
Right.
I had a really intelligent guy one time tell me when I was really stressed out, I couldn't see clearly, and I was just making poor decisions based off the upset. And the guy told me that to not make a decision until the dust settles, because you can't see, and there can be mental. You can stomp up your day, like in the morning if you get up late and you don't have a chance to brush your teeth and make your coffee and
Right.
and wake up. It's almost like a perpetual dust cloud. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
stomp up the dust in your mind, and you can also do the opposite. Let the dust settle, and therefore you'll be able to see a little bit clearer.
See, I'm one of those people that needs my space that I do anything in. I don't care if it's even my car, to be at least to a minimum of stress and things, because it stresses and things me out. So I've learned that is how I can balance, like, or, if I notice myself not listening to music regularly, I'm off in some way. That's another thing. So Pandora is usually, that's a tradition in my morning, is like, if I'm listening to music and drinking coffee and smoking, then everything's good.
You're
Everything's good. Right, always. I'm off right now because I'm only hardly listening to music. School's about to start for my child, and then I'm off because I'm off until that happens. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my goodness.
So I know that you wanted to broadcast some other YouTubers and bring light to their series, and
well, I just want to point out that sometimes, like, okay, we're gonna take a little mind journey, just like you have been so enlightening, Toke. I appreciate all your wisdom.
Have to wait for a
second. You want me to stop? I'm gonna pull up the website.
I'm like, take your moment.
Take a moment. Okay, so I have been following a few people on YouTube. We're going to go here a second. Should we do this one? I think we should do. Is it this one? Or is it this one? Is it this one? All right, we're going to go figure it out because I don't know which one it is. Sorry, I have to pull it back up. But yes, I've been following this amazing YouTuber, which we're going to do at the end of the month, every month, for our YouTube and for our listeners on the podcast, a visual and audio experience of sharing some of our shout out favorites. But tonight, because we are talking about out of box thinking and look a little further than what you think you're looking at, and sometimes there's more to the numbers than you think. Okay, this particular YouTuber we're going to look up, hold on a second, Soft White Underbelly by Mark Load. Oh my gosh, how do you even say his name? We're going there. Hold on. He's an amazing YouTuber, but he's a photographer. He was just taking photography of. Oh my gosh, they're just doing an interview with him. That's not what I want. Hold on. This person, Mark, just felt like his pictures weren't good enough. They didn't need to be like personally retouched or anything, but they just weren't telling the story. So he took his moment of just asking all kinds of different people, let me bring this up, to give their story, similar to what my podcast here is and many others I enjoy, in which we'll share with you guys. Let me pull this up. But he just has a way of sharing it in the most simple way. And I found some really beautiful gems. So I wonder if it's going to say his name in here. I hope it will. Here we go. Hold on one second. So, Soft White Underbelly is like, he's very interesting, just a normal person, but he does live I think he lived in California lifestyle, maybe New York initially. I think it's California. But he is the one who initially, let's see, the playlist here, most popular. Have you heard of the Whittakers?
No.
Have you heard of this family? All right, we're going to look them up. I'm going to blow your
mind. I
mind.
thought it was the Whittakers. I'm
saying it wrong, but it probably is, and I'm saying it wrong.
I could be saying that wrong.
Whittaker, yeah, Whittakers, no, inbred. There we go. So anyway, I found him by YouTube's and algorithm sending, let's see, Wikipedia. All right. So from what I understand, they were the initial family that were used as a movie idea. Hold on. family based on. I'm not a horror film. The Whittaker family, horror of inbreeding. British, hold on, where is it? Behind the story. So, where is the story, the movie? There's a particular movie or series that was.
No, what is it? I thought it was the inbreedings. What was it called?
I don't know this
Males
movie.
Have Eyes. What was it?
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Yeah, they got a family.
Okay.
Carolina,
all right, so we're gonna take a real ass look. Now this is the truth. I'm not gonna play this. Actually, I'm gonna mute the shit out of it. But okay, so here you go. I first photographed the Whittaker family from my first book. Now he's just a normal person who's just a genuine person. He does have income because of what he does. But because of the fact that he has a heart and he really wanted to get their story, a lot of people don't like him because they think he's exploiting these people, but I find it quite interesting he doesn't. These people speak their own. Nobody has ever been like, take my shit down. No, it doesn't happen. So I'm going to just show you guys kind of the humbleness of just allowing, people to, on the outside, yeah, it's judge a book by its cover. It's judge a book by its cover. When we do our feature night, I will share some of these videos, but this guy in the middle, I'm pretty sure passed away, and maybe this guy too, and he's the only other brother that's left over. But when I will.
Hold on a second. You know how
I'm not intense. No.
This is the truth, or like disclaimer. This could be all just a big joke or something.
No.
So in colleges, you know how they have brotherhoods and fraternities. And things like that, and they use the Greek alphabet.
Right.
And most of the prominent figures in history come from these universities and brotherhoods, and it just goes hand in hand to show it's always the same thing that's prevailing through any subject that's influence in the world.
All right, I'm going to show you something that's pretty fucking devastating. Now, I'm going to just give you some backstory. He's my favorite, by the way. Ray is known as the most intense person that actually probably gave the whole story plot what it is. I would say. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that's the facts. Now, they lived in a very rundown home, and it was 2 homes combined and all the whatever, and everything you could imagine from it being a hard place to call home. But there's shacks that are even worse in the United States, believe it or not, people. Anyway, this individual, Ray, Mark is asking, what happened to your brothers? Because I just said that he had passed away. Yeah. This man is unable to speak. He can only bark like a chihuahua. It's very close to the sound of a chihuahua. I have a chihuahua.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, this isn't intense, but I want you to just take the humbleness of a person who still feels he's a human. And in America, in the United States, and the globe saw these videos, and they donated over $30,000
and helped. Issues,
he
mentally, or is it like?
Listen, now let's talk about inbreeding.
Or did he?
Let's talk about all of this.
That's my question. Is he?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Now, are we as watchers in the community able to say we know 100% how his brain scans will come out? I think actually he's quite intelligent. He just he was nonverbal. And how many people out there listening who may be in their own children's situation know that your kids are looked at differently just because they can't communicate, and that's not fair.
I believe the mind has
high functioning as hell. Right.
But no, yeah, that is also true. That some people
watch
have
this.
Disability, and
let's watch this.
I'm just going to play just a teeny tiny excerpt. It's only going to kind of represent that he knows where his family's at. He may not be able to say it out loud, but this man knows. And this is their reality before YouTube gave them love. So here we go. That's Ray.
He's pointing at his dead brother's grave.
Right. Watch this. How freaking intense is this? Because Mark is it's this touch. This blew me. Oh my God. Watch. I'll mute myself.
I don't know if he forgets right here or what. At one point he like forgets.
What is it?
He was just asked about his brother, and he's showing
Right.
he can understand.
Right.
Is that Freddy's grave?
Isn't that intense?
Is that Freddy's
people?
grave?
Come on. Come on. Nobody can judge. Nobody. We feel pain at all levels.
Yeah.
And this man's smiling and dealing.
You can. He's smiling, but he's looking away and shit. You know.
Fuck. So, thank you, Mark. Thank you for what you do, what you
So this-
share. Let me show another one. I have to show another one. This is just the incredible facts of what he.
So
what
wait
this,
a second.
Yes.
But he could understand what.
Yes,
was
but he
being
could.
said.
Yes,
he
ma'am.
is literate.
He's very high functioning. He's probably autistic.
That's what I'm saying. So he's
It's so
literate. He
sad.
Autistic on a.
And
on
he's
a
in West Virginia, and he's being
very
judged
high level.
by our. And we've made fucking money off of these people. Here's another beautiful woman.
I don't know
love
if he's
this
autistic.
bitch.
It's something else probably.
I don't know.
Hold on. Here, we're gonna take it to another level. Hold on, everyone. I'm gonna mute myself a second.
It's a bit confusing if you think about it.
All right, here's another one. Now, Mark interviews this lovely situation. We're only going to watch a few moments of it, but this is the things we've talked about on previous episodes. Unfortunately, this is just the fact of America. This is a fact of Skid Row. This is allowed. It's allowed to continue, fester, and a lot of people, as we talked about in previous episodes, really, truly, oh my God. In the addiction episodes, I'll link them below. We all can say that we've heard someone or felt on our own. We're not sure how to handle America and its addiction. We don't. Me, you, and the rest of us don't really know how to fix it. But we see this, and it's just terrifying to know it's really real. This is a spice addicted person.
Andrew, where are you from originally? Where did you grow up?
Kansas City, Missouri, a small town called Pleasant Valley. It's a suburb.
Tell me about your childhood. You grew up with both parents, one parent?
I started out with both parents, and they got a divorce, and I mostly grew up with my mom.
Got it. And how was your childhood?
Crappy.
Why-
I wasn't happy. I didn't have a happy childhood.
What happened that made it unhappy?
I abused by most of my peers, and most of my children's peers. I'm being abused in my home life too by my father. That's why my parents got divorced.
Sexually abused?
Yes, dear.
At what age?
5 and 6 years old.
All right, we're gonna move it through a second. I'm not sure what this, but I'm about to blow your guys' mind when we go to the next one. Hold on.
And so what is your drug here on the street? You mentioned spices.
Yeah, I love 211 beer and spice.
Spice. What does spice do for you?
Like marijuana extra strength.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then
I mean, if that's marijuana extra strength, I don't want it. I'm just saying, I'll skip to the mild sauce. I don't have the balls for that. That's so terrifyingly sad.
People find out about this stuff when it's all too late, and they like
right.
Their store.
Yes. High five, sir.
And people end up
drowning
in their own.
It's sad as shit. I don't care.
Own, like,
abuse or no abuse. This next person I'm going to feature, blow your mind. She has no problems in her family. You're going to be blown the fuck away. And there's another lady I'm going to bring up just real quick.
First video I sent you earlier?
Yes, I watched it.
We should do an outro with that or something.
Yes.
Remember how I was mentioning the wavelengths and your thoughts and things? It'll just it'll kind of give the lid to it. Give it an idea.
Hold on. I hope I have the other one up.
Thinking cap.
Because, okay, so there's another. I hope this is it. Let me make sure it's it. It's not the one. Tell me this is it. No, Frenchie, no, it's not her. Hold on, where's my Mary Magdalene? Okay, so there's this porn star. I've watched her for years. She's fucking nuts, and I love her in all the great ways. She's creative. She came from uber duper religious backgrounds. Let me find the thing. Hold on. It's so good to explain how people judge, and she did all she did to her body and all the things just to prove a motherfucking point, and she's amazing. Hold on. Go on. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Keep going on.
I don't know. So I do want to touch on the kielyrodni case with her being found, and
please.
I don't know.
It's
It does
insane.
look, I do kind of side with the Ryan Upchurch theory. I mean, I think
so
that
do I.
It's suspicious.
If it's
the whole, and then if she did go off of wherever and it was a wreck, why weren't there any tire tracks? Because they searched for that. And then they did have divers, and if it was 14 feet, and as Upchurch said, if it wouldn't have rained in 3 weeks, she would have been outside of the water.
Right.
And then I just think it's fun. It's very weird how that YouTuber, what were they called? What was their full name? I know AWP, but what is it?
Oh, Adventures with Purpose?
Yeah, I don't want to offend anybody, and
right.
I've had a little bit. Anyway, I think that it's great that they found her, but how did they find her so quickly when they had all these search teams out there? Because remember, we were seeing videos of the girl in the lake. I mean, that they were having other people there, and they had said a dive team was already there.
Right.
I mean, it just seems like, was she...
Okay, so this is what I heard.
Hope that she was put there later on.
I heard the water changes up and downstream, and that's the main point, is that they couldn't technically, for whatever reason, maybe they didn't have the proper people there yet to actually put attention to it. I am making, I'm sorry, but you said from the beginning, like when we discussed this prior to ever even mentioning it, today and in the past few weeks, we've seen it unfold. And personally, for me, as like somebody who does follow Ryan Upchurch, because I like the way he thinks, he does think outside the box. I respect that a hell of a lot. But I've said, and I feel that it goes a few different ways. You cut it in a few different slices. One is, are all these YouTubers seeing this as how they get their first jump into being whatever? Because this one purple-haired chick definitely made clear on her YouTube that she addressed in the last 24 to 48 hours that she did not plan to make a YouTube. But now she's here to tell everybody about Ukraine and the war, but yet she's not here to do that. She doesn't have time for that. So it's very misconstrued. And then I did personally go and click where Ryan Upchurch had suggested everybody go look in her other channel, or so-called other channel. Why are these people connected with one another if they are related to pedo activities? And it is a well-known thing that the purple light does represent that kind of a community, and YouTube hasn't scrubbed it fucking clean yet. So people can assume that this is all mumbo jumbo, but I'm personally on the Ryan side, because if the third slice here is that Ikmel actually did do or is involved with anything, why is he acting the way he is? He could even make a community post saying, I'm involved with an attorney now and I can't speak on it. That would solve everything, but he's not doing that. This is either for him to enjoy the clickbait that comes after, and so you're going to fight like Shane Dawson forever that you're a pedo. I think that's interesting. Sorry. I don't like it. It smells. And there's patterns in these things, A lot of people got involved. I'll put it like that. Me watching from the outside, a lot of people got involved on YouTube. But there's a lot of people that, why'd they get involved when they got involved? Why'd Purple Hair Lady get involved? And who puts freaking music over a video and the same, people, woman, lady, that people were going to search that video.
Right.
You knew exactly what you
did. She just came out of nowhere to defend what this Igmel guy was
She
saying.
got too emotional too, and I'm finding that like what listen, there is proof that both of them did see in some way or they're the ones coming forward saying there was another party. If this chick was at the other party and just was like, oh, there's kids over there, hey buddy, let's go sell what we have, it's I don't know. I think Ryan's on something.
5 in the morning.
Oh,
It's all right. No, like I honestly do think that it's going to unfold in one way, shape, or form. But the fact that she's found, and I find it very respectful that Ryan came forward and said something. Everyone else on this subject that we're talking about, Purple Hair, Ikmel, all the other people, all of them at this point are playing, don't look, don't pay attention, look the other way, over here. There's a carrot over here. I find it odd. In the YouTube community, you usually put things to rest by being like, all right, I've hired an attorney, everybody shut up. I don't think that's been put out yet, But yeah, and I even feel like Ryan Upchurch explained himself very good on several people's lives. And he doesn't have to. He has enough money. Why would he start a bunch of slander cases? To throw away money? I don't think so. Like you said, he's given away cars already.
yeah.
Good point. Very good point. He's like, it's not about loot. This isn't this isn't his clickbait for his music. He's got enough fans. He doesn't need it like that. This is him saying, all right, I've done things. Let me take a break. If anybody's been watching Ryan, a couple of months now, he's been like, listen, I'm tired, not sure what I'm doing in life. Fucking follow along. I think that's great. So he didn't plan this. This isn't like some publicity stunt of fun. No, the man's like, I'm not stupid.
Said he got emotionally attached because he has a sister her age.
I believe it. Plus, he's right. He's fucking hanging out with criminals. He knows how these people think. They're telling him what they think. It's real. That's what he said live. I was like, yes, man. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, he's like, brah, I'll fucking hang out with criminals. It's like, well, that's nice. I'm glad you admit.
I wonder what he means. Like, what level is
No, because he's actually very, very, very involved with the cannabis industry in other areas, like I think Oklahoma, which is very legal, or very open. It's like unlimited plant count to grow. And I believe they have medicinal right now. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry. But anyway, I know that he has his own freaking strand company. So he has his own label. He works with people. And let me tell you something. No big cannabis company ever starts off with everybody that just got their degree in San Francisco's pot university. That's not how it works, honey. Everybody listening, they started off planting the seed behind something. So it does, these people are talking together, and then he's got attorneys and psychologists, like he said. So what do you think's going to happen personally?
What do I think's going to happen with what?
With this whole YouTube crazy.
I have no idea, honestly.
You're going to sit back and watch?
Yeah.
Yep. No, this is probably, I've been following true crime for a long time. And, a few years. Let's put it. You're probably the reason. It was like Stephanie Holloway. I'm saying her name wrong, aren't I? Stephanie Hollow. Sorry. No way. No. But yeah, this is kind of how we know when there's drama attached to cases, is who's talking about it. That's a very good point. Since Chris Watts' days, everything's not been kosher, in my opinion. No. And experience. And it's interesting because the ones who usually stir the pot the most just end up getting fried to the point they disappear fully. Like their channels are removed, things like that. So I don't know. I've always felt like some cases you just can't fucking taint the information. And I have to do a shout out to Voice for the Voiceless. she was making a very good point about the Kylie case, that, we got to be really careful what we put out there because people run with it. We know what's happened with the Summer Wells case and whatnot. I agree with her on that. So me and you have been really cautious about what the hell we thought, because it didn't matter what we thought. We needed something in fact.
Right.
And you were like, told me straight up, which I'm glad you said it so eloquently. You were like, I just feel that she's ran her card off of a freaking mountain. Who knows? Intentional drug induced or not, accidentally car failure. I don't think you said that, but I think like anything's possible. This is what some of the YouTubers are saying now until we look at the investigation. And as you've said about the suspects who are involved possibly being there, and as Ryan has said, potential substance dealers on site. I don't know. I think it's really odd there's so many. I don't know. This whole Ikmel thing, that's on his own. How he's responding leaves a wave in the community. It's exactly like I keep mentioning Shane Dawson. If anybody knows how that went down, there's a lot of haters now. And there's people that understood the deeper stuff, and then there's people that only knew the surface layer or whatever. And I think Ryan makes a point that Ikmel has some explaining to do. It's just my point on that.
He does. And the thing that really doesn't jive right with me is why would he bring, so did he stage the scenario that this Ronnie guy and all of this? And then what kind of publicity what is that? What are you doing?
Right. He got a lot of media attention, girl. I read all the articles. They're all impressed. He got even referenced on the news. I mean, that's nasty.
Sickening if it's somebody that he knew.
And if he didn't, it's sickening that he ran with something without fact, which is why I was like, it makes a lot of sense that, Voices had mentioned that. I really appreciate her for putting that out there in the universe. Be like, everybody on YouTube, let's be cautious. Let's be really, unless you can say it's a speculation you believe, but don't say, hey, everybody, let's speculate this, Me and you privately had that conversation of like, until we know she's with us or not, how could we really give oomph to the situation?
Right.
We'll leave that to the people who want
to
make it all messy.
But how many cases has Ikmel done about children?
That's his channel, honey. That's the scary part. That's the terrifying part. Whether Ryan's right about the mix-up, mash-up of the words in his name,
I mean, that draws back to the lettering I think
what was the killer for me in all of this, what was like the shocking, oh no, was when I saw the old video Ryan featured with Ikmel talking about enjoying it. Listen, I'm from Dank Spot 420 days. Let me tell you what that is, guys. Dank Spot 420 was where you went online and you showcased your face on a camera smoking bud in an illegal state, possibly. And people thought you're fucking nuts. But you'd go together in a chat room that was designated, had a server, just to do that. Now, he's talking about hackers getting together and enjoying watching the entertainment of seeing people be whatever. I'm going to tell you that existed. It's not far off. It still exists. That's what the Reddit's for now. Have you ever seen a post? Do either of you go on Reddit?
No.
Okay.
Roast.
Have you ever heard of the thing called Roast Me?
No.
Oh my God. Hold on. I'm going to just give you a visual. This is real. Like, there's whole communities that find people just to like put deep in the web and make fun of it. random shit. Like The Dirty. You remember The Dirty, Marie?
Slightly.
Hold on. Reddit. The Dirty still exists, by the way. Let me pull it up. Reddit.
That's ridiculous.
Right. Roast Me. Here we go. It's disgusting. My ex was like blown the fuck away, and I was blown the fuck away because it's not nice. It's not okay. How is this? People kill themselves over small things. This is crazy.
All right, I'm just gonna bring up the Google search, and you can take it from there. We'll see this funness right here. It's sad. It's not okay. So, and you can probably find it on Facebook too. But like, there's all kinds of random people that would do it. Roast me. This is my date of birth. Da, 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 and this is what time. Like, you literally could go and look up his fucking astrology. That's not right. Okay. Here we go. And these are people wanting attention or not wanting attention. And it's just terrifying. Like, this is not normal psychosis, in my opinion. But anyway. And then the dirty, let me look that up. Well, there's the advertising. What is it now? It talks about you want to slut shame someone. You can put up a man who never paid his child support. All those fucking things. You got chlamydia and other things from people. Oh, it's all over. It's terrifying. And it's by area. It's freaking horrible. And you can look up all. Yeah, it's real. And I mean, you just look up your area. Let's go with it. Let's do this. Let's go Metairie. Are we going to do this? We're
Metairie.
in it. We're in it to win it. Let's do it. We got
Metairie
a dirty
slut.
army.
Okay, I've never seen.
All right, let's see this biatch. No, I'm kidding. See, this is where it all starts. You start hating and you don't. He's deadbeat dad, and there are a few girls that have slept with him. Okay, hold on. So the dirty
I don't
army.
see any picture.
Hold on, let me bring this up. Why is it not doing it? There's no picture because it got taken out. This person probably went on there to take my thing out. Hold on. Is there another one? Oh, it's loading post. That's not good. It says...
Well, that's no good.
Hold on, let's do it.
If we can't see a picture, how do we even know?
Right.
I probably wouldn't even be able to tell nobody. Like,
here you go, Metairie, Pepsi Slore.
Oh, okay.
There she is. That's unfortunate.
Somebody
Poor
just
lady. Yeah, and this is where people were doxing people
nastiest
before.
whore Metairie. I've never seen her.
I know, me neither. That's a good thing. But yes, she's somewhere living her best life. But yeah.
Oh, you saw the girl scroll up. They was hating on this. Not her.
Power plant.
The next one go up.
Yeah, she looks great. Look at that. Get it, girl.
Somebody really hating.
Her body resembles an unphotoshopped tube. Why is that nice? That's not even nice. Okay, hold on.
You wish.
So yeah,
I don't know any of these people.
Here, I'm gonna go Long Beach.
Lion Keg. What?
California. And I'll just go Long Beach because stripper. So yeah, this has been around since probably 2002.
That's embarrassing.
Right.
Fucking nightmare.
And yet this still is up. So unless you, and I know that you can go on there and whatnot, but it's the whole point of point of like judging a book by its cover, popular slut shaming and shit like that. We're going to do an episode on slut shaming because I find like I'm kind of the devil's advocate here. I really think it's wonderful if a woman finds herself sexually okay and figures out what's good for her. But other men and women find it like, you're ruining my vibes. You're in the fucking zone. Your tits are out. I can't deal with it. Look at mine. That happens. You know, the slut shaming can be as mediocre as that, or it's like in cultural beliefs where it's like, you're not supposed to expose your face. You're not supposed to expose anything. Like, I'm supposed to be pure of that in my eyes. You know, that
I don't
exists.
know. Like, I have my own views about the whole situation. Like, whatever about nudity and all that. Who cares? Like, if you're comfortable in the skin you're in, then flaunt that shit. Fuck it. Who gives a fuck? Like, at the end of the day, I'm not one to judge anybody by what they're wearing, or I'm not lying. If somebody's looking crazy, I'll be like, oh my God, Sukes, check out 3 o'clock. But whatever. At least I'm honest.
Right.
You know, and you can look at me because I have weird styles. My favorite color is black. I'm sure a lot of the time it's noticed.
Right.
But as far as like the issue with women being polyamorous and things like that is that we are the ones that create it. Right. You know what I mean? Like, a man, it's not right either way. I'm not going to say that it's right either way. But the problem with the female being polyamorous, which isn't a bad thing. Again,
Yeah.
if you are mature enough to be with one person or to be honest about the whole situation. You know what I mean?
And safe.
What do you mean?
Right. And safe as well. Because that
safe,
goes...
yes, but also like if you get pregnant, like you have to be honest about that. I mean, it's all about a moral standard, you know. Maybe I've been watching too much Paternity Court. But the problem is that, you know, men they do get off the hook because they don't know. You know what I'm saying? If old girls doing everybody, they don't know if it's their baby. But the woman has to pay the ultimate, or she gives her baby up. I mean, at this point,
what if the guy does want to be a part of it? Does he get off the hook? You know,
no. Then he goes
what
to
about
paternity court.
Yeah, maybe he's
what
on
about
the-
Octomom? Remember that situation? Do you remember Octomom?
Didn't she get?
She got. Hold on, we're doing this. She got a bunch of babies, embryos implanted, more than what was probably reasonable. She already had a lot of children, and everybody made her feel like shit. So she went to doing porn for a little while because people were like, you know, we'll help you out. And it was just actually self-loving.
But why did she do that?
Then she stopped and became extremely, I think, religious as well too. I'm pulling it up. Hold on.
But I don't understand.
She's a good example of like, she actually was there to do it, not for publicity. It really wasn't for publicity. I can say that from seeing over time how she's responded. She was on food stamps at one time, and that's what made her do porn. She felt disgusted about it. Like they had all told her that she was a terrible person. But she had never been on food stamps before. The kids, it was like right after the media made her a big fucking joke. And you know, I don't know. They're all older now. They're like, I don't know, and they're 13 years old now. When was this?
No.
2022, August 19th, yesterday. How interesting we're bringing this up. So she just had a new interview. Let's see. The toddlers. Look at all these names. This is too much. But yeah, she was made fun of because she looks just like Angelina Jolie. But that she didn't have surgery. She's just Hispanic and has the bone structure. How is that really? It's
why is that?
Look up.
Right.
What's wrong with that? That's like
right. Isn't it fucked up, man? I'm sorry. I find it really
I don't know.
disgusting.
I'm still like very confused on why she had all of those embryos planted.
She wanted to do it on her own. She never wanted a man. She didn't even she doesn't date. She had no real experience dating. She just decided to be a mom. That was her focus. She actually has a I thought it was a social worker's degree now. I believe that's what she does. So she's making decent money now. But like, it's just fucked up because we all were like, you're going to fail, lady. All those kids are going to be, you know, she never had them come. I've watched her over the years. I'm really proud of her. But yeah, we're going to take the Duggars, put that right back up put that in the center here.
Why can't people be who they want to be, man?
But do you know what the Duggars were? They were, oh my God, 22 kids total. One is a child from another family member that was taken and adopted in the family. But as it goes to know, none of those kids were really paid fully, if at all. And still to this day, for episodes that are recurring, the father still makes all the money. And then the oldest son, Josh Duggar, just went to jail for pedophilia content of children under 2 years old.
Oh, no.
So what the hell? How many babies has he been around?
A lot.
How many children has he actually, in law, hurt possibly? We know documented like 7 girls.
Oh, jeez.
Since he was a young man, before he was even 20-something years old. So I'm saying okay. You can have a mother who wants to do it and doesn't need a man and doesn't use the state, and we can stop judging how long later? Is it 13 years later we finally give up the clinch on it? It's sad. But yet, I'm gonna pull this up. I know
we do have a population issue, but I don't know if she's aware of that.
She lives in California. Do you know how hard it is to feed and clothe and drive around that many children?
Yeah, the traffic's already terrible.
Holy crap! She lived in Fullerton.
It's not that I disagree with her, but I'm concerned by the action. Like, but I mean, that shouldn't make you a hater overnight, you know?
Right. Okay, so this chick, do you see it on the screen? It's a hardcore moment. All right, we're gonna go. I'm gonna start it just for a second, and then I'm gonna blow your mind because we're gonna go. First off, let me see if I can find where it just showed me. So she has body modified herself a billion times.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like hold on. Let me pull this up. Mary.
There you go.
Oh God.
Hold on, this is worth it though. Because I feel like she's got such a good point, and I'm gonna bring it up. Okay. Here we go. Images. Where is news article? Let's go news article. Article, because we don't want to put this on YouTube. Okay. There we go. Kicked off flight. Here we go. Come on. Show. Here she is. So, a lot of people would judge what they're about to see, but she's known for transforming her body because she wanted to kind of see it as a social experiment of like how people were going to treat her. And she really does look at life as very precious and want it very much.
Does she?
She's only 24 years old, I believe, which is even crazier.
Life is so precious. Why would
What'd
she
she
just
look
live
like
it the way she
before?
was?
I'm going to show you. That's why I'm doing this. So this is her before, like, now.
Not before.
Now. Hold on.
That looks painful almost.
Oh, I know. She does a lot. It's all lipo. Not lipo. It's all silicone in her butt and in her lips, and she gets sucked. See that?
Swollen.
Look at that crap. Yeah, it's like bowling balls. Yeah. So there you go. There's her before.
I can't see it.
There's how about now?
She looks
There's
so
her before.
great. She looks absolutely perfect.
Right.
That's
okay,
actually my type right there.
Well, and she's
Roughly.
insanely so okay. What we're gonna do, and there's her too. So crazy. So strict Christian family is pictured here. Fresh face. Okay, so this is her. I have a lot of respect for her though. Let me just explain this. It's intense.
Yeah.
It's intense.
She's but it's intense.
Right. Yeah, I don't like the way it looks. That's not what I'm saying. It's about respecting the voice of the artist. She uses her body as an art piece. Now, yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna blow your mind. Hold on. Let's hear her speak. Let's hear her actually give a little moment of everybody's view. Like okay. So she knows that she's an acid trip, right? You're looking at this and it feels like an acid trip. She loves that. That's the whole point of this. Okay. Hold on.
It's just very conflicting because I'm this is just party Mary, but this is not real life Mary. So it's just weird. I don't know. It's just wild that
Who's real life Mary?
Real life Mary is just a boring piece of shit that stays laying in bed and then just periodically gets up to paint and fucking nurtures her animals. This Mary does not exist. So it's just wild. That's why I don't get offended, because it's like a really bad acid trip. So I just can't get mad. It's like I don't know. There's no words.
So who is the real Mary? You grew up where?
The real Mary grew up everywhere. She was born in Tuxtla Gutierrez, Mexico, and her family, her dad, they had like this in San Cristobal, Mexico. They had like this what do you call it? Like, honestly, I don't even know what the fuck. Something where it's like they're helping like the native people of the land, like Why don't you want to say? I don't, because I don't know, but they just had some sort of shelter and help for them, and like then he turned to a pastor for a lot of his life, and it was a lot of kumbaya shit. But
How would you describe your childhood?
Isn't that funny? Kumbaya. Hold on.
kumbaya, kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. It's fucking fake. They're
That was
fake, but like I love it. Like I know, my dad, he's fake. He's fucking fake as fuck. I know my mom literally loves me, and she's just like women are normally. Well, I can't say that because like I can't. So it's like it's more.
I love her.
Anyway, she's more
love her.
passive, whatever. But I know she has always loved me, and she has proved that to me with actions. And of all the humans in this world that exist right now on this planet, my mom and my stepdad, like literal zero doubt, love me, and Dustin loves me, and I know like my brothers love me,
And everyone accepts you as you are.
and that's a lot because I'm a lot to take in. But girl, they love me. They fucking love me. They fucking rap for this shit, ho. They love me.
So when did you start perfecting, modifying? What do you want to call your body and face?
Well, that's what's like. Like I love how I'm like a bimbo queen, whatever. But it's like I just view it as this simple, you know. It's like I literally just I'm a human being that exists on this planet that literally just like surgery. And it's like, you know how some human beings like prefer being blonde or prefer having black hair, or like it's just something that simple in my mind where it's like I literally actually don't overthink it. It's just I'm like, well, like I want a bigger ass, I'll try this. And then like my actual real life is extremely boring, so then I'll be like, well, I might as well travel and do this, and like because it makes me happy, you know. But it's like not a thing where it's like, oh my god, I think I need this done, I need that done. It's a lot of it just comes from impulsiveness and just wanting excitement in my life.
Are you ADHD?
Well, I don't believe in psychiatrists and all that. I would never do that because I feel like if any human being in this planet went to a psychiatrist
so much. I'm concerned.
So yes, we will be.
Is she insecure or what? Like,
no,
there's a reason why she's like laughing at everything.
No, because she thinks it's funny how people really don't understand. This is an interview we will cover, and you guys, I want a reaction, so I will be putting it in the show notes.
I've just never seen somebody like she's laughing like she's high or something.
No, she drinks.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it.
She does drink. She does drink in this.
Having fun.
Yes, but no, but for real, she only smokes weed and drinks vodka. I'm the same as her. But
and does surgery.
Right. And like surgery, that's the fact of it is, this is a good prime example of like where she was taught all the morals and values, and everybody down the road could say she's fucked up, but like if you choose,
no, I think even if you do have problems, you can still be great. Like, I mean, problems like, can she talk? Like, if we're just having a normal conversation and I just say, hey, how's your day been? She's like, like, great.
She does have anxiety. I think that's why she uses cannabis and probably.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
It's a good interview. I really encourage you, Toke, to watch it. It will blow your mind. By the end of it, you're like, holy fuck, man. Like, you think you know what you're
I guess I do the same thing, actually.
It's insane.
I do laugh a lot just to kind of like fill gaps.
This other girl, we're going to wrap this up, but I want to give you guys a visual of this other girl too, that we will be featuring on another one, because she's also a really good example of what we talk about. That this is not as skin deep as what we think we see. It's usually a lot more layers to a person of why they choose to be who they are. And this woman decided to black out her eyes. You've seen her before. I know you have. She's very well known for insanity, and she looks like a monster in a lot of people's eyes. But hold on, I'm not going to play the audio, but I'll give you guys a visual. Do you see her?
The lifestyle you lead.
So I want to say I feel like I live like a fairly boring life. I have no drugs involved in my life. I did.
Right. See that? Now we all would think she's on something, but no. How could we? So there's a lot that we will be covering on future episodes. We really have had a little bit of fun tonight, sharing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But we will be back on Wednesday. So
Wednesday, tune in.
That's right. Please, everyone, please join us again. Download the podcast app, Anchor or iTunes, or wherever you listen, and listen in. If it's too hard to watch the video, we're always on other platforms. But I appreciate you both for being here and giving your insight tonight. I hope you guys got a little something from tonight and we opened your mind. I always learn something on our podcast.
Definitely. We always cover all sorts of different topics.
Yes. So join us on our next Token Talk and our next topic on Wednesday. And until next time, check out our past episodes.
Thank you for listening. And
you guys have a good night.
Any topics, bring it up. Have a great
night.
Be blessed and
have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.